Hello and welcome to another episode of Sport Federation TV, the show that brings you all the news about all the sport in all of the Western Cape. I'm Uytenboghaardt Chetty, and once again, I'll be your host. We've got 4 amazing sports that we'll be showcasing today. We're talking karate, cycling, kite surfing, cue sport, and even Cape Wineland's farm worker sport will be joining us. In studio with me first, we have JP Naude and Shihan Kenny Uytenboghaardt, here from the world of karate. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so the last time you were here, we spoke about the prep leading up to the World Championship.
That's correct. We gave a description of where we were going and what our expectation was, yes.
Okay, now let's talk about the team. The team was comprising of how many individuals?
From the Western Cape, there were 12 competitors and 2 assistants. So there was a group of 14 from the Western Cape.
Okay. JP, you were competing at this event, hey?
So yeah, we went to compete. I competed in the Masters division, and happy with the result.
Now the championship that you attended, that the squad attended, is that the highest level that one can compete in this sport?
I think I'll leave that one up to Shihan.
It was what we refer to as an international friendly. The whole purpose of the actual introduction of this type of tournament, and it is to spread friendship throughout the world. Give you a bit of background on this particular tournament we went to. There were 2,264 participants over 2 days. We had 11 mats in quite a big sporting complex. There were 31 countries that participated in this event. It is considered as, in terms of karate, one of the biggest staged karate events. We were very privileged to have been part of that, and all the participants from Cape Town, from the Western Cape, they all want to go back again, which is really a success in its own. We did extremely well. First of all, let me explain what was said about the Masters division. The Masters division, the word master means people of experience. Although it's a veterans, it's still people or participants that have experience over others. And this JP participated in the Masters. He could have participated in his age group and weight group, but he chose to go to the Masters to challenge himself. I must put this very clear. It was something that he looked at and he said, no, I don't want to just fight in there. I want to actually put myself at risk.
This is great. You both can take turns.
So he then enters into the Masters, and well, the rest is history, because look, he gained first place. The other results that we have from the Western Cape is Jason Dawes, also from the same dojo, and he achieved 3rd place in his weight division, and he's younger than JP, so he was in a younger weight and age group division, and he came 3rd. Now it's all eagerly and viciously contested. There's no easy fight. There's no easy way to where you want to go and where you get placed. It's difficult. You must remember, we're doing a knockdown form of karate. So as much as you trying to knock that person out, that person's trying desperately to knock you out. So you can imagine it's like a dogfight almost, with the two trying to fight each other and to beat or overcome your opponent. Yeah. So it's a very strong, a very eagerly contested tournament. This tournament is every April of every year, in honor and commemoration of the founder who died in April of 1994. So April month is the decided month that we will have this Youth International to spread his word.
Okay, so Shihan, you mentioned 2,300 people attended this event, and JP, you brought a clip to show us the enormity of this particular event. We'll take a look at that now. it looks absolutely exhilarating. It must have been amazing, spiritual to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, it's quite incredible to it's almost impossible to explain it. Firstly, the entire build up to the process. You know, for those of us that have been preparing in tournament style training, you're training in the gym, you're training in the dojo, you're training outside of both those space of 5 or 6 months. There's a lot of build up to it. So when you get there on the day, the nerves are on edge. A lot of people are highly stressed, and it's very difficult. But the type of training that we do in the dojo and when we're training with Shihan Kenny is the same kind of training that everybody around the world does. Everyone does exactly. So the video that you saw there is quite an interesting sort of synergy of where everybody comes together with the same knowledge, the same understanding of the same combinations, the same spirit, the same nervous tension.
The same hopes and dreams.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's one of those moments where you can kind of just forget about the fact that you're about to go into a world competition and you're just warming up. It's quite an incredible experience to have 2,000 people moving at complete synchronized movement. With the same type of spirit and voice, and it's an honor to be there.
JP, tell us about your road to victory.
Well, again, I must say I had an easy draw. When you get there, you never know what you're going to be up against, and you hope to tick all the boxes. And I think the stars just aligned for me on the day. I was lucky to go into the tournament that my first competitor didn't arrive. And I was up against last year's world champion also in the Masters division. And he had 30 kilos on me, so for me I just had to remember my game plan and a lot of movement.
Float like a butterfly.
Literally, because he was extremely heavy and hard to move, and it just everything just worked out for me. I must say I was very grateful for the advice that I got beforehand. The psychological stress that you go through before this type of tournament is extremely high, and we've had Dr. Mike Postumus from the Sports Science Institute here on the show with us before, and I got a lot of guidance from him in terms of the high performance side of getting the muscles up to the right temperature before tournament, remembering the psychological side of it, that you keep your confidence all the way through the fight, because quite often there's so much going on in your mind that you will be in the middle of the fight and you think to yourself, I just can't carry on anymore, I just want to go home, I've had enough. And it's at that mental point that you have to switch on the confidence factor and say, you've got this. And so, like I said, it all just worked for me, and I was happy with the result.
Wow. Show us your medal, your trophy.
So this is it's a big honor for us to get this, and once you this is, as I said, this is in the Masters division. The guys in the Open in the All Japan and that they get very big trophies. And when you finish with this, they call you up to the podium. We've got some pictures here that we brought with. They call you up to the podium and they give you a big lecture. So you stand there, and this Japanese guy who gives you the certificate, before he gives you the certificate, he reads it all to you.
Yeah.
He tells you about all all the good things of how you must carry on the spirit of karate and kyokushin.
Wow, pure joy, hey? That moment.
It is incredible. We obviously look to build on kyokushin in South Africa, so we're happy to kind of start flying the flag. And again, the privilege of seeing the Japanese ambassador and the MEC, certainly the South Africa is getting recognized.
Lovely. Let's take a look at those photos to highlight your trip and the experiences there.
So this is our first picture here with Shihan Kenny right in the middle there. This was the dojo training squad before going to Japan. Our next picture here is that's actually the picture there with the chairman of ICAO South Africa, Sensei Socks, and in the middle there is the South African ambassador to Japan, and that's the podium space where and there's of course Minister Anu Mareth from the Department of Sport and Recreation. So it was a big honor to be with her, and there's Shihan Jason Dawes, who's been on the show with you before. You can see him there with his bronze medal at a couple of incredible tournaments. And there I was very happy to be there with Shihan Kenny in Tokyo, and and I think for me that was a special moment when your instructor is coming to you, your Shihan is coming to you and saying congratulations on the floor there, when he's got his hands full dealing with the rest of the world. So I was feeling very emotional at the time, and when your instructor comes to you and says congratulations, you feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, in any sport, it's the ultimate. It's the ultimate to arrive at an international event and realize your dream, not just for your squad, but for yourself as well.
You know, it's a big honor, and I think and I'll let Kenny talk to you about this now. I think that what we want to now build on is taking all of this momentum to the All Africa Championships, which is coming up on the 15th of July, as well as the South African Championships, where we've got a number of nations coming to compete.
Okay, tell us about that.
Okay, the 14th and 15th. Well, on the 14th, we are having the South African Championships. Those people that are not qualified or experienced enough to participate in the African selection tournament, which will be done on the 15th. Now, on the 14th, the South African Championships, we're expecting 500 plus participants, and it's going to be held at the University Cape Town Sports Hall. And we're going to be using all three halls, main halls that they have there, to accommodate the expectation of those 500. We're going to have about 7-8 matches going at one time. So on that day, the Saturday, we're hoping to complete the South African National Championships. Not hoping, we must, we will do that. And then on the 15th, the Sunday, we're expecting, at this stage as we're sitting here now, we have 10 countries committed to participating, 10 African countries. So we are looking at roughly about anything between 60 to 70 participants in that. We're not trying to overload that tournament. We're only trying to select the best from each country. It's no point in coming down and having 200, 300 in that kind of a selection tournament. So it's a quality-based tournament. So it's a place to be on the 14th, and the 14th is just as, to my mind, is just as interesting as the 15th, but the 15th, the attraction is they are all fighting for selection, and it will be a much higher level competitor.
Okay. When you say it's the place to be, does it mean that this event would be open to the public for people who are maybe thinking of joining the martial arts world?
Oh, for sure. We invite all martial artists. In fact, we are in conjunction with KSA, that's Karate South Africa. That is the national body that represents karate in South Africa. They also a direct link to UFAC, which is the African organization that again is linked to the World Karate Federation, which is hopefully going to be accepted as an Olympic sport. So we are working extremely close with KSA, and KSA is working with us and in assisting us to make this a reality. And of course, without their assistance, we can still operate, but it's going to be a much higher quality in tournament with their participation, and I'm sure it's going to be better supported from all martial artists.
Okay, JP, how can people get in touch?
So ask me the question. So JP, tell me what can we expect from the fighting, and then I'll
from the fighting.
From the fighting, yeah.
Okay. Okay, JP, what can we expect from the fighting?
Right. So the fighting itself is going to be very exciting. I think the SA Champs, where you're going to see this 400 or 500 participants competing in full contact karate as well as semi-contact karate and under the Kyokushin rules, is something that you don't get to see very often. Full contact fighting is quite hard, so the competitors don't get to compete too often because the injuries are quite hard, and so it takes a long time to recover. So certainly on the Saturday we're going to see a lot of tough competition, and then if you look at the All Africa, which is really the best guys in Africa fighting on the Saturday, full contact karate, which means it's bare knuckle, there's no padding, and if you lose, you're out. So what Shihan Kenny was saying, 50 odd fighters that are going to be fighting. By the time the winner wins that tournament, he would have fought probably 5 or 6 fights to get to the end and win it. It gets competed in a Grand Prix style. It's extremely hard. It's full contact. I think it's going to be big action that Cape Town hasn't seen in a long time. So certainly that 14th and 15th of July is the place to be if you want to see action karate. And we're of course,
it's a paradise and it's a war zone.
Well, that's the thing about karate is we are all disciplined and respect and honor and so on. And the harder we find that the harder we train, the better our value system is there.
Absolutely.
And these fights. But we're also very happy to have the blessing of KSA Karate South Africa and Cape Town, and the Western Cape Karate Association endorsing the event.
Okay. How can people get in touch with your federation if they'd like to join the sport or support the sport?
So the easiest place to do it is simply on Facebook, is to go and look for a dojo in your area and type in Cape Town, Kyokushin Cape Town, and you'll find the dojo in the Breer Street area. Alternatively, to go to the national website, which is ikosouthafrica.co.za, and all the contact details anywhere in the country is on that website, IKO South Africa.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on your incredible achievement, and good luck at the selection process for that All Africa.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and come back and give us feedback after the event.
Will do.
All right. Okay, after the break, we'll be back with another amazing sport, so please stay tuned for that.